But she talks about like asking for help, like how you can't do it on your own. She touches about that a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just gonna see if we can see this in the group.
Boom, we should be live on Facebook. So good morning, everybody. Holy cow, the lighting just changed in here. Happy Saturday. Hope you guys are all having a great morning. We're going to be talking today about our whole series in December is going to be about giving yourself the gift of. So today we're going to start off by talking about giving yourself the gift of feeling like you deserve more. And what we really mean by that is making sure that you start to get inside yourself to connect with your inner self and knowing that you're worthy. So Meg touched on this a little bit last week in our online chat, just about how like women typically don't have self-worth. And that's one of the main problems is because we're constantly seeking external validation instead of internal validation for things. And then we don't go after the things that we really want, or we don't even consider what we really want. We just go after things we think we should be going for. So I'm just going to change the lighting in here because it's driving me crazy. Too bright with the natural light. And I'll take this one down. Sorry. There, is that better? Okay.
Yeah, better.
Okay, so first of all, I want to talk a little bit about, guys, if you're jumping in on the replay, please say hello and just hashtag replay. If you're watching live, please jump in and say hello on Facebook because Candace is going to watch the comments for us. But basically, first thing I wanted to talk about is a little bit about my story and background. And this is like a topic that fires me up. I get so passionate about talking about this because my story, I was in commercial insurance for over 10 years. And my whole family, like my dad and all 5 of my brothers are all in commercial insurance and they all make really good money. They're successful. It's the way they've all raised their families. It's the way I was raised, you know, on that type of whatever, that kind of money from that kind of industry. So I naturally flip-flopped around a lot when I was younger. You know, they always call me a dreamer. I'm always off to do the next thing. I'm a butterfly that floats from leaf to leaf and flower to flower. That's what my brother Chad calls me. So Reese had fair warning before we got married that I was this butterfly. But anyways, the thing is that I flip-flopped around a lot with school and things like that, never finished a degree, and then just dove headfirst into insurance because it was easy. And because my whole family was in it. So it was just like a natural next step for me. And so I worked my butt off literally from answering phones and filing on Saturday mornings all the way through like data entry in the summer. Like I've had every single job, answering phones, being an assistant in both personal lines, like which is like house insurance and car and boat and stuff like that. And then being an assistant in a commercial business unit, which is like small business type stuff and vehicles. And then eventually working my way up to being a producer, which is a commercial salesperson. So I was actually the one selling the commercial insurance myself. And so I was making 6 figures before I was 30 years old. So on paper, super successful, everything going my way. But inside, like once I peaked at the, like, how would I describe it? Basically, I was running and going for that mark of 6 figures. That was like the only thing I could set my sights on, and being a commercial producer and then being the top salesperson in my company that year. That was like, I beat all the boys and I was so proud of myself. So my whole life has always been about proving that I can do what the boys can do. But then I quickly realized that even though I could prove that I could do what they could do and compete on that level, I was totally unfulfilled inside. And I'm talking like miserable. Like I didn't realize how bad it was getting until my health started to suffer. And a naturopath is the one that was like, do you realize that you're actually running yourself into the ground the way that you're working? And I was like, what? No, this is what successful people do. And he was like, no, it's not. So that was like a huge wake up call for me. So luckily I had a bunch of food intolerances that kind of led me to him in that conversation. And you know how you'll always have like little things that will point to different directions that you should take in life, but until something kind of smacks you in the face, you don't really seem to listen. But if it happens to you on the right day at the right time, then it kind of makes a huge impact. And that's what that was like for me that day. So basically I decided that I did not want to work in insurance for the next 30 years because I was so burnt out. I was running on adrenaline all the time. I was literally like, if my email would bang on my BlackBerry, remember when we had Blackberries?
Yeah.
Features were so high, so they wouldn't allow us to use iPhones back then. But like I remember like Sunday mornings, I'd have like bling, like my little email would go off and I'd instantly have like anxiety in my stomach, like, what is that? Because most of the time that meant somebody was emailing me to deal with a problem on a Sunday. And so I was working all of my weekends, all my evenings. I was working every single vacation. I remember literally being out on the boat in Shuswap and having to go back to shore because I had to go back to deal with a claim while everybody got to go and have fun on the lake. And you got paid super well in my position, but it never ended. And it was a constant, like,
there's no balance.
Yeah, it was a work yourself to the bone. Like, who can be available to their clients 24/7? Who can be the first one in the morning and the last one to sign off at night? Who can be the one that's out schmoozing and drinking and networking and making all these relationships? And then, like, I don't know when I was supposed to have time for my family. Like, I wouldn't have been able to keep that up once I had kids at all. And my marriage, like, I wasn't married until very late in my insurance career, but like my relationship suffered big time because of the way I had to be to do my job, you know? So for me, it was like, the one thing I want to talk about today is everybody has a different story about this, but I decided that there had to be more for me. And like, I deserve to have something more. And everybody around me was saying like, you're crazy. You worked so hard to get here. You know, why would you walk away from such a secure, amazing job? Why would you walk away from an industry that you know is solid, that's recession proof? Like, everybody throws out all the reasons. And then it's because in the end though, like, my heart was aching. Like, I hated it. The way that I was treated by other women around me was awful. And I'm the kind of person that feels energy. Like, I think a lot of us are, you know, connected to other women. And it was like, other women in the industry, it was like shark pit. It was like, cut that person down, stab them in the back behind their backs. It was so mean. And then in my office, women treated me differently because none of them were producers. They were all servicers. So I could literally like come and go as I pleased and do whatever I wanted all the time because of the type of job I had, because I was on all the time. So that was kind of, I guess, I had flexibility, but it was almost like just the perceived flexibility. So I could go for late lunches and come back after a couple of glasses of wine, and they would never be able to leave their desk for more than like the 55 minutes or whatever that they had. And so they resented that. And they also resented how much money I made, even though none of them wanted to step into that position, even when it was offered to them. So it was like this really weird position to be in where I felt super successful and externally so validated by like my friends and family, because 6 figures for a girl before 30 is like a big deal, I think. And
that's huge.
Yeah, but I was dying inside, like literally a wreck, you know? And the way I was treated by a lot of men, because my clientele was mostly construction work, like construction companies and oil and gas companies. So first I would have to like prove to them that I had actually had a brain and an understanding of their industry. And then once I did that, there was still always a nice skirt today, Mare. Or, you know, like, it's just, I wrote a blog post about why I don't wear stilettos to the oil field anymore. That's like my piece out of corporate kind of an article. But yeah, it's just, I think though that so many times in our life, and so like maybe you can say, because everybody has a similar story in some way, it's like we continue on this path of things that we think we should do to be successful. And then one day we wake up and we're like, what the hell? Like, I've been chasing this dream that now I realize isn't even really what I want.
Or maybe it wasn't a dream, it's just like all you know. Like, and like that makes sense. Yeah, like especially if all your family worked in insurance, it's like, I'm just gonna do this. This is what's
but for you, like, for me. You fell into serving and it took you to amazing places. Like,
like I love it. But yeah, like I feel like maybe even last year, but this year for sure, I stopped feeling fulfilled. Like I remember it felt different before. Like I was so invested in hospitality and I loved it. And I even thought about like opening up my own place. And then something shifted. And like a lot of people do say they have an expiration date with like hospitality. So I didn't think it would ever happen to me. And I remember all of a sudden there was a shift where I was like, there is something else I should be doing. But serving was all I knew. And like, I didn't do anything with my undergrad, and there's like not a whole lot I can do with like an English degree. It's like serving was great money. It was flexible. I could like travel with it. I love that industry. Now it's definitely taking a hit. But yeah, something changed where I was like, this is not what I meant to be doing. Like I felt that and it just wasn't fulfilling anymore. I was just like going through the motions. And then I started to resent it almost.
Yeah.
And then once I've started working on like the wellness side of things, and like working with you and we connected. And like once I started looking into personal development, then my relationship with hospitality changed as well. Like now I'm focusing on this, but now I'm enjoying serving more and I'm just like more grateful for it and all of the opportunities it's given me, like the social aspect, the financial aspect, being flexible, all of those things.
Do you think
Like
it's because you feel like it is like a vehicle that allows you to still have like those personal connections
yeah.
and the money that you need to pay your rent, but then at the same
Mhm.
time being fulfilled because you're like learning constantly in this new arena?
Exactly. And that's what I think happened with serving. It's like you still get to interact with different people all the time, but I kind of plateaued with the learning.
Yeah.
Like I had been doing it so long that I wasn't really gaining any new skills. Like every shift is different, but I just felt like it wasn't really that challenging anymore.
Yeah.
And then now that I'm like learning and like focusing on other things, I'm getting the fulfillment from there. But then like getting all of these other great aspects from serving, it's like my relationship changed with it totally. Like I don't resent it anymore.
Yeah.
And maybe even the pandemic too, like having your job getting taken away from you.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, I actually really like it there. It changed my perspective on it. It's like, oh, I miss that. Like, I can't wait to go back to work. Like, obviously you have crappy days at work, but it just like my relationship with serving is very different now. I'm not just going through the motions. Like I am quite present when I'm there.
So do you feel like, so getting back to like tying it into our topic of today of like feeling like you deserve more, it's like now that you are kind of like branching out and starting to build something for yourself on the side, do you think that's kind of what's contributing to you feeling happy there? Because you know that it's like not a means to an end, but like it's literally giving you like your social and your rent and you're like paying all your bills, but then you're still able to like chase after that other thing that you want for yourself.
Yeah. It's allowing me to work on something, like put time and effort into something else that's more fulfilling.
Yeah.
Like I would much prefer focusing on like mindset and nutrition rather than food and beverage. Like I feel like that's making more of an impact. Like you're still giving everyone this social experience, serving's great, but I just am like, I'm getting much more fulfillment from this side of thing. But I need to pay bills still.
Yeah, totally. I think that's realistic for like, so I've noticed the pattern lately with a lot of the girls that I've been talking to and what we've been talking about. And it's like in our 20s, we chase after this, whatever this thing is that we're in. And then I think we hit our 30s and we're kind of like, whoa, like I need something else. Like this isn't enough for me. And so that's why I think so many women are literally starting to start online businesses because we have so much more that we want to do and more that we want to give. And so a lot of us are building different types of things out front. And like we're connected by a business in the back, but we don't look anything alike when it comes to like what we're doing out front in our social media presence and stuff like that. Because you are going to build a coaching business around mindfulness and health and stuff like that. So that works perfectly with like we're connected by oils and supplements in the back. But it just like allows us to have that business relationship that's like fulfilling for us while still exploring these other things that we want to do up front. I think that's powerful.
And the connection part is the main one. Like being able to build a community and connect. I think that's what I realized I really like about serving. And then like while I was laid off, that's something I really value and I want to incorporate in a career, like having that connection, like human connection. I don't think we realized how much we value until it was taken away. And like now it has to be virtual, but I still really want that in whatever job I decide to pursue.
Yeah, I think that might be the difference also with a lot of men versus women. It's like they can be lone wolves and go out and we can too to a certain extent, but it's that we don't always want to be alone, right? I would much rather like work with other women to like all of us go forward faster together than just be able to sit there at the end and say like, oh, I did this all by myself, because you can't. Like we need the connection and we need the support. And that's how we're wired. Like we enjoy working together. one of the things I wanted to talk about, if anybody else is feeling like on that edge of like not knowing what they want to do next, but still feeling like unfulfilled and not where they want to be. One thing that I did, and a psychologist gave me this exercise to do when I was like freaking out after I had Rhett because I didn't know what to do next. And she said, write down on a piece of paper all the things that you should want or you should be feeling. And then on the flip side, like completely change the paper so it's like a clean slate on both sides. And the other side, write down what you want. So she said, not like what you want in terms of material things, but like how you want to feel, how you want people to see you down the road, like the people that are important to you, not just like out exterior, whatever, like your kids or your parents or your siblings or whatever. Like, who do you actually want to be and how do you want to feel? And then on the first side, you would write all the things that you think you should be doing right now. So my sheet was like, I should be grateful. I should be so thankful that I have this amazing secure job. Like other girls would kill for this job, making 6 figures and being like a top salesperson. Like I need to calm down and just like be grateful that I'm here. But like the part that bothers me now looking back at that is like, well, I worked my butt off to get there. And I know I could work my butt off to get wherever I want. So like, why would I pigeonhole myself into like a little perceived jail in that industry when I didn't have to? So it's not to say like, never say never. You can, you know, if I had to feed my kids, I could go back to work in insurance if I ever needed to. But like when I flipped the page and looked at all the things I wanted, it was nothing that was in alignment with the things that I thought I should be doing.
I know.
That was like a major wake up call for me. So I really encourage you, if you're like sitting on the edge and watching this and just being like, I don't know what it is that I want, but I know it's not this, whatever that is. Just like do your shoulds and then flip it over and do your wants. Who do I want to be? How do I want to feel? Like in 5, 10 years, whatever. And just see if they match. And if they don't, then that's how you know deep down that you need to start doing something different, even if it's a teeny little exploration mission to figure out what you want to do next. I think it can change your whole life. And we always know that saying, like, you underestimate what you can do in a year, but we overestimate what we can do in a year, but underestimate what we can do in 5. And it's so true because
I need to remind myself about that all the time.
Yeah, when you're standing at the foot of the mountain, you're just like, oh my God, how am I going to fricking get to the top of this thing? And you're like, okay, well, I think I could probably make it to that tree line today. But like realistically, that's never going to happen because those little legs aren't going to carry you that far. But you still have to start. And then by the time 5 days is up, which let's just use that as our analogy versus 5 years, 5 days later, if you keep walking up that hill, you're going to be down close to the top. Whereas like, I think in life, we just assume that since we won't be able to make it in a day, we're not going to try. And so I think that as
you want like that instant gratification kind of thing, right?
Oh, and that's the thing about online business too, is that the hardest part about it is that you will not see instant results. It's very, very rare that somebody comes into an online business unless they already have a huge following and they just like excel and make, you know, their $10,000 a month instantly. Hey, Rat, I'm on a video, honey. You say hi and then you gotta go. Well, you gotta talk to Dad. Say hi to Candace.
Hi.
I'll talk to Dad. They're in the deep in the garage. He wants an English muffin.
Nice.
Big day. Anyway, so now Rose can hear my voice. I want to rip up some paper. Okay, another thing I just wanted to close that out by saying, like, you have to find out the shoulds versus wants is really an exercise to try to find out who you are again. Because the you that you create on the outside for the last 10, 15, 20 years is probably not the real you that's inside. And so it's easy to say, like, you have to be in alignment. It's such a beautiful word. But like at the end of the day,
what does that even mean? You know?
At the end of the day, to me, that means is like the inside of you truly happy and at peace every day with what you're doing. And I don't mean like Groundhog Day in terms of like getting up, making breakfast, like doing the stuff. I just mean like what you're doing in your life. Does it excite you or does it stress you out and do you dread it and do you resent it? Because if that's the feeling you're getting, you're probably not in alignment with what you truly want inside. So do the shoulds versus wants and just see if they line up. And I doubt they will if you're feeling that unsettled feeling. So then like take the next step. If you are looking at maybe doing an online business, I have a web class coming up next Thursday. It's going to talk about how to start an online business right now. So you can drop in the comments if you want the link for that and I'll send it to you.
I've sent it to a few girls.
Awesome. I think that there's so many of us right now that are just like, hey, well, I would love to do an online business, but I
But
don't
I
even
don't know how. Yeah.
yeah, or I don't even know what I would talk about, or I don't even
Mhm.
know what I would teach. And it's like,
Mhm.
will you understand that you have a powerful story? Because we don't start from scratch when we pivot in this world. We start from our experience.
Mhm.
So some people are going to come from a place of like debilitating anxiety. Some people are going to come from a place of like knock your socks off, want to make you die, food intolerance pain.
Mhm.
Some people are going to come from like burnt out in corporate, still want to know how to make money, but literally just can't go to the office for one more day, or will only go until they can transition into their online business. Like whatever your story is, everybody has a different story. A lot of people are at home with kids right now that I know that don't want to go work part-time because it pays like crap and they don't want to pay other people for childcare right now. So there's all these different reasons why people want to do it. Some people are just super unfulfilled and want to go after something different. So if you want to know like where you would even start, then let us know and we'll get you that link for Thursday. I think it'll be a good one. And it's just like literally, what is a personal brand is one of the things that I want to talk about, because that's one of the most powerful pieces, I think. It's just like pick 3 things you want to talk about on a regular basis and start talking about them. That's how you start. You know, it's not really like a super complicated. I mean, you can pay for all the courses and all the coaching in the world. I pay for it all, trust me. And
It's fun. Yeah, I think it's good to do that, but it's like you can only learn so much. Like you're going to keep learning, but you need to take action at some point and just like figure it out as you go.
And having other girls that are in the same spot as you to ask questions for and to kind of like brainstorm with is priceless. So that's really important. But then the other thing I wanted to talk about today is the difference in our society between feeling like you're being selfish versus feeling like you're being selfless. So we celebrate the woman who is selfless, the one who's always doing everything for everyone else. Boy, did she do a good job. You know, you're at her funeral and you're like, she lived for her babies. She lived for her grandchildren. She lived for the town. She volunteered at everything. Good. That's awesome. We need those people in the world. But was she happy? Like if that fulfilled her, then great. But like the rest of us who are trying to like somehow live up to something like that are burnt out because we cannot be everybody. You cannot work full time and be a full-time parent and do like homemade cooking and baking
and homeschool now.
Homeschooling. Yeah, like I don't know when people do their laundry, to be honest, when they work full-time with kids. Like I this is a myth, some kind of a crazy thing for me, because I just like I'm so busy and I'm here. So like kudos to you if you work full-time and you still get it all done, because I don't know how you're doing. But how do you have time for yourself? That's what I want to know. Yeah. So something that I think that we need to think about instead is like being self-full instead of selfless or selfish. It's like being self-full. So
but if you show up for yourself, you're showing up better for everyone too. So you do need to look after yourself.
Like on a daily basis, we need to start doing things that are for us. So for me, that looked like getting into an online business with other women. So burning out in corporate in the man's world was not the thing that was going to make me happy for the rest of my life. And I knew it. I didn't know what that all was going to look like. I ended up in real estate investing first, which I still do, but it's still like not my passion, you know? So it's funny because they always say like, find something you're passionate about and then go build a business around it. But I'm passionate about business and I just needed to find like a subject to base it all around. You know what I mean? So you don't have to be like the best crocheter in the world and then build a business around that. If you want to be that, that's great. But like it's possible to be passionate about coaching other people or helping other people and then figure out your substance after that. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people get caught up in like, well, I don't know what I like to do. Like I was there 100%. So find other people that you like to be around and see what they're doing. That's kind of a good place to start in your search.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I wanted to mention is just like see it, feel into it, plan it, and then do it. So when you're first figuring out what you want, just like brainstorm it out, write it all over your pages, and then burn them if you don't want anyone to see them. Because a lot of girls are worried that like somebody else is going to see their ideas and think they're stupid, which is like so grade 7, you got to let that shit go. You know what I mean? Like, so write down all your hopes and all your dreams and all your wants. Like, what do you want? Where do you want to live? What do you want to do? Do you want to travel? You know, do you want to have kids? Do you not want to have kids? Do you want to have a partner? Do you not want to have a partner? Like, whatever you want, like write it out And then write out who you want to be and how you want to feel and how you want to impact other people. And then see where that might lead you. Because I think that until we actually can like feel into what that would feel like, it doesn't really have legs yet. And then we want to plan it out. So how can you possibly get to that place? Because this is a 10 or 30-year plan, guys. This is not a 1-year plan. This doesn't all change in one day. And then you have, once you're done planning it out, then you have to execute and actually take action and do it. So that's like my best advice on that stuff. But I just feel like women deserve to feel like they deserve it and like they're worth it. And whatever it is your hopes and your dreams and what you actually want instead of what you think you should be doing. Like my thing, my stick. Do you have anything to add to that? I'm ranting. I get off.
No. I think it's good. I agree 100%. Yeah, I think that women do have like a lot of limiting beliefs, or they don't think that they're worth something that they aspire to be, and that's not true. There's like there's so many women out there that will support you. Like I feel like once I got into this whole wellness side, I was not surprised, but it was really, really nice to see how many people supported me.
Yeah, I actually cried at a conference I was at because I actually couldn't believe how supported I felt as a woman by women. Because I had just been in the man's world in the dog shark pit forever. And then I went to that conference and I just remember tears just streaming down my face listening to one of the speakers because I was just like, this exists.
Yeah.
I had no idea that other women actually had your back in business. They do.
Yeah.
They do. So if you guys are interested in like how to start an online business right now, we have that masterclass coming up Thursday. And then
what time on Thursday?
What?
Sorry, my computer froze. What time?
Oh, Thursday. Oh, what time did I say it was going to be at? Let me look at my events right now, so I don't want to give the wrong time.
Will you share the event in the group?
Sure, I can grab it.
Can you do that?
Yep. Okay, so it's 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time.
So 6:30 for people in BC, right? Cool. Yeah. I can probably do that. I'm driving up to Canberra, but I can do that. Cool.
Yeah, sweet. I'll drop it into the comments of the Facebook Live right after we're done here. I just copied it.
Okay.
And then the other thing I wanted to let everybody know about is that as of today morning, doTERRA put on all of our enrollment kits 20% off. So if you are on the fence about oils or still desperately trying to find something that you want for Christmas presents for some other girls in your life, this is like 20% off. Like my favorite kit is the 319 with all the big oils in it, the 10 big bottles and a diffuser, and it usually it's 319. So that's like 62 or 63 bucks off. That's like an oil and a half. It's a really good oil and a half for free. Like it's amazing. And you get your membership.
And you get a diffuser with that one.
Yeah, there's a diffuser in there. Also, for our January reset, which is our clean eating program that's coming up, we're going to have a bunch of awesome guest speakers. We're already lining them up. That's going to be January on the 11th. And that kit is also 20% off right now, which is like, usually it's $250.
And that kit's so good. It has oils, vitamins, and the deep blue red.
Yeah. It's the one we did.
Maybe not. Yeah. I was.
Yeah. And Terrazine.
Okay, cool.
Favorite product.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So it's got like 5 little introductory oils. It's got the vitamins. It's got the Terrazine, and then it'll have the shell for the. If you want to actually pay a little bit more, you can order from the US, but their kits are not 20% off. So it would work out to like probably like $250 or something. But then you'd get the probiotics as well, which is huge. So let us know if you want to be on the wait list for our January reset. You guys are going to want to be in it. We're going to give you all kinds of information before then about it. But on the 27th, we're having our Sex in the City brunch with mimosas mandatory. And we're going to have our guest speakers all.
Or Caesars or bagels and coffee.
Yeah. Whatever. I'll be drinking mimosas with very light orange juice. I don't really like orange juice in my champagne.
Try the grapefruit juice.
Yeah, I have actually in Chicago. It was really good.
It's good.
Anyway, so that's coming up and that's going to be amazing. If any of you guys have done the reset with us before, or like in my old clean eating programs, it's going to be very similar and it's going to be awesome. So we're going to prep the week before, like the 4th or whatever, and then we're going to start on the 11th of January, just so everybody has time after the holidays to like get their shit together. And then we're going to teach you like what to swap out in your fridge and freezer and pantry. And then we're really going to focus. Last time we focused on nutrition, exercise, and mindset, but this time we're just going to focus on nutrition because I think it's such a huge topic and we can take it in so many directions. And also, let's be honest, by that time of the year, everybody has a couple lbs to lose. So let's just deal with that together. So it'll be like revving up your metabolism by what you're eating, making sure that you're putting things in that are more absorbable so that you can actually use them. And that's what speeds up your metabolism, giving your body the vitamins it needs for like your thyroid to function properly and your adrenals to function properly. That's what speeds up your metabolism, not spiking your blood sugar constantly and putting your body in stress response with all those hormones and chemicals that have to be released into the body to handle that. That's how you rev up your metabolism. So I actually used to have people say all the time, like, I actually ended up like losing more weight after the thing was over because my metabolism was going so fast. And I'm like, yes, because you're actually your body. So I think that's going to be a really fun one. Anyways, do you have anything else to add?
No, that's good.
Okay, well, we nailed it. 33 minutes. Boom.
Perfect. And don't forget to post the link to the masterclass in the comments.
Okay, I will for sure. Okay, ladies. Have a great morning, great weekend, and we will talk to you.
Have a great weekend.